Hello creeps! Anna and Creepy Santa here, and today we would like to rank Christmas books for you. They are all genres: horror, extreme horror, thriller, even some romance in here. I know, Creepy Santa's been reading some smut. So let's just get into it. Some of these I read this year, some of these I read in past years. So I might have to look up a few of the synopsi, but I'm gonna rank them for you. I compared the ones that I read this year to my reading journal from last year. So I'm ranking them from my least favorite Christmas book to my most favorite Christmas book. Of course, Creepy Santa here had his opinions as well. He likes the smut, go figure. Oh, he smells like childhood and lead paint. Anyway, let's get to it, Creepy Santa, and let's just jump right in. Also, for the ones that I read this year, I'm going to also be giving them a rating based on how Christmassy they are. You know what? Maybe I can sit him up. My least favorite Christmas book that I have read has been You Better Watch Out. This is by James S. Murray and Darren Wearmouth, and it looks like this. This one is just about these people that get abducted. They get put in this little town and they're trying to find their way out. It's kind of like Saw meets A Christmas Book, I guess, but I don't really remember there being that much Christmas in it. I didn't love the writing. There was quite a few things that I didn't love about this book, so that's why it is last. And also, I just read a lot of really good books. So the next one was The Christmas Morning Massacre. This is by Nasser Rabadi. And this one I read last year. This is just about a group of girls that goes and stays in a cabin and they are killed off one by one. I don't remember how Christmassy this one was, but this one, it was just like, you know, a fun short little Christmas book. The next one that I read, this one I read this year, it was called Christmas Corpse by Mona Marple. And this one, it was about a girl named Hollywood. She crashes her car one day and Mrs. Claus is actually the one that rescues her. So, you know, I'm kind of worried that it's going to be focusing on him and not me. So I'm actually going to put him down here. Sorry, Santa, you can't take all the limelight. Just when my camera's been messing up lately. There you are, buddy. Anyway, Christmas Corpse it's supposed to be a cozy mystery. That's why I started reading it, because I thought it was going to be like my cozy mystery that I read every month. It's about a girl named Hollywood, and she crashes her car one day, and Mrs. Claus is the one that actually rescues her. And you learn that the Santa Claus and the elves and Mrs. Claus all live in this town, kind of like right off the highway. Santa Claus is out on a fishing trip, but his hot stud of a son is kind of taking over for the family business. So he's filling in for Santa, and of course Hollywood finds him very attractive. And so they start hanging out. However, there's a murder in the town and Mrs. Claus is basically framed for it. So she's gonna get arrested for this murder, even though nobody really believes that she did it. But the town is like so super overwhelmingly cute. Like their names are like Mistletoe Manor and I don't know, like Candy Cane Lane or whatever. And everyone just drinks hot chocolate. Like anytime you enter a place, instead of someone being like, oh, can I get you a coffee? They're like, can I get you a hot chocolate? It's overwhelmingly cute. It's past Hallmark kind of like cutesy. Anyway, it's very Christmassy. I mean, you can't get really much more Christmassy than this. I would give it like a solid 8 or 9 out of 10 in the Christmas department. However, there were a few things that I didn't love about it. One, there was no really solving the murder. So this Hollywood wants to kind of clear Mrs. Claus's name. And so she goes out of her way to try to prove that she's innocent, but she doesn't really solve anything. She doesn't really put clues together. In fact, at the end of the book, the killer's just like, oh, okay, I did it. And you're like, oh, okay. And it was just a little overwhelmingly cutesy. So I don't know, if you want something like past Hallmark, then that would be for you. The next one is The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. I remember this one being a little bit more Christmassy than the others, but still like a 3 out of 10 in the Christmas department. But this is about an American who goes and stays in the UK with, I think it's her friend and her friend's family, and she starts getting a crush on her brother, her friend's brother, not her own brother, because that would be incest. But her brother is being investigated for a murder, but this book is just set up weird. The details aren't like revealed slowly to you. You just get to the middle of the book and then the book's like, oh, okay, so this is what happened. And you're like, oh, okay. So just like very anticlimactic and just kind of an interesting way that a story was written. However, still like well written. You know what I mean? I didn't hate this one by any means. The next one I have here is I Found Lights Slithering Up My Street. This is by Ben Farthing. And I just read a Ben Farthing book, so I was really excited for this one because I really enjoyed that one. This one though wasn't really for me. Christmassy, it's again like an 8 out of 10. It's pretty freaking Christmassy. But it's about this guy, or this young boy, and he sees lights slithering around his street, and there's like, they're moving on their own, and there's something sinister about him. There's carolers with no mouths, and all the neighbors are getting killed off, and it's like creepy and weird. That was creepy. It felt like Santa's foot just moved on its own. Ew, is this thing possessed? I am frightened. So there's like definitely creepy aspects of it, and he has to try to save the town and his family and stuff. However, the first half of the book, and it's a pretty short book, is just him talking about how his little sister died and how he's sad about it. It just didn't feel that great. It didn't fill me with the Christmas spirit reading about his dead sister that much. So it just really wasn't for me in that capacity. The next one was Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer. I gotta admit, I read this one a long time ago. Christmas rating, I don't even know. And I remember it being about this girl, and she gets a new job, and there's a secret Santa, and she gets a weird present under the tree, and then like strange things start happening around the office. This one I feel is just like a pretty middle of the road horror Christmas book. It's been a while since I read it, but like I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And I don't know that I've read anything quite like this before. So yeah, I liked this one. Next up here, I have The Bright Side of Christmas. Okay, let me go on a little rant here for you. Let me bring this one up first. And by the way, this is all my fault. It's not like this book's fault or the author's fault or anything. But I did a lot of research about Christmas books that I should read, and I asked you guys on Instagram for suggestions too. So this is The Bright Side of Christmas by Morgan Elizabeth. So here's the thing. I did tons of research, and I tried to find really high-rated books because I knew I was reading outside of my genre because I didn't get a lot of horror Christmas books read this year. So I knew I was going to be reading like romances or just like feel-good books or books that just I typically don't read. So I wanted them to be higher rated so that I know that the majority of people liked them. So I go into this book because the description from what I read, and again, I probably didn't really read it, I probably just skimmed it. From what I read, it sounded like a cutesy little romance. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could do 1 or 2 romances for the month. So I added it to my list, I read it, and this was porn. It was porn. It was so smutty. Oh my God, it was smut. What about this book says smut? There's a nutcracker on the cover, for Christ's sake. I was just shocked. I was just shocked that that's what it turned into. And again, this is no negative feedback to the writer or the cover or anything like that, because I guarantee if I looked more into it, I could find out if it was smut or not. Now I know, I learned my lesson, okay? Romance does not equal just a cutesy little love story. It means oh my gosh, the stuff that I read. Anyway, it's a really cute story though, and I loved the beginning of it. I read the first 50 pages and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I a romance girl? I love this. It's about this girl that moves into her grandmother's house after she passes away, and she's trying to keep her grandmother's spirit alive for Christmas and do all the things that her grandmother did, like run the decorating committee and, you know, help out in town. And she's just like overly helpful, overextends herself too much to where she's not really taking care of herself. Also, at the same time, is grieving her grandmother, and so staying extra busy so she doesn't have to deal with like the empty place that her grandmother has left. So next door, the house is empty. This grumpy musician moves in. So she goes next door and begs him to decorate his house for Christmas because everyone on the street decorates the house and he refuses. So she gets really grumpy and she starts putting stuff on his house like in the middle of the night, like a wreath or candy canes or this or that. And it's like a cute little flirty thing. They go back and forth. He steals her nutcracker and starts sending ransom notes to her. Like, it's a pretty freaking cute story. But oh my gosh, does it get spicy! And it gets spicy for quite a while. And I just wasn't expecting it from this cover. I feel like sometimes you can look at a book and be like, okay, that's probably going to be smut. This, I was flabbergasted. It just sounded like a cute story. It looks like a cute Christmas story. And I gotta say, Christmas, probably like a 7 out of 10. Very Christmassy, very cute. But there's probably more doing it than Christmas in this one, which is, again, not a problem. And if you like that stuff, probably check this book out because it gets spicy, okay? I was reading it being like, is it getting warm in here? Is it just me? No, but honestly, if you like that kind of stuff, you'll probably think it's really cute. And the first half of the book I really liked. But yeah, it did get a little spicy for my liking. I'm not really into the smutty type stuff, but you know, I read it and I was able to recommend it to a friend who adores smut. So hopefully she'll enjoy it. Santa's little pervy ass enjoyed that one. But next up I have Candy Cane Kills. This is by Brian McAuley. This one is like reading the remake of Black Christmas. That's kind of what I would compare it to. Just like a, you know, fun little Christmas slasher. There's this legend of candy cane and some murder that has happened in this town, and unknowingly this family goes and rents the house that this supposed urban legend happened in, and then have to fight against candy cane themselves. This is very Christmassy. I would give this one probably like, yeah, 7, 8 out of 10 on the Christmas scale. It's just, yeah, a fun slasher. You know, you have like the typical, I don't know, I'm not saying that this happens in the book, but it's like, you know, stabbing people with icicles and stuff like that. It's just a fun Christmas slasher book, but it feels like you're reading a movie. You get what I'm saying? The next one we have is Mistletoe Meet Cute. This one is also a smut book. However, there's like 1 or 2 smut scenes. I could deal with that. This one, typically not a book I would say is for me, but I could not put it down for whatever reason. I don't know why. I liked this one. I thought it was pretty cute. It's about this girl and she's home for the holidays and helping out at her house. She has like a big family, lots of brothers and sisters. And I think, you know, that's what I like about it. I like when romance has more than romance in it. So this one, yeah, there's romance, and yeah, it does get kind of, you know, you roll your eyes and you're like, all right, relax a little bit. But there's also, you know, family and grief and coming together for the holidays. And it's just about more than just doing it, which is what I like. Oh, and there's also sections where you read the group chats with the siblings, and I was cracking up. I thought it was so cute, and it made me really want a bunch of brothers and sisters. But it's about this girl. She comes home for the holidays. She's like helping out. I think her family owns like a Christmas tree farm or something, and she needs a job. She runs into this really hot dad who has a baby, and then she finds out that he's actually on her brother's football team. So she starts actually working for him as his nanny, and then they fall in love and do it in the kitchen or something. I don't know. But I thought this one was cute. I would say I liked the beginning more than the end. Like the first half of the book I could not put down. By the second half I was like, it's okay. But let's move on to the books that really got me. So Santa Exploitation, this is by Judith Sonnet, and the back just says, ho ho, holy shit. It's about these 2 women that abduct Santa Claus and do horrible things with them. This one is funny. It's an extreme horror book, so you know, it's not like crazy extreme, but it's probably more extreme than like a typical horror book. So keep that in mind if you're going to pick it up. This one I cracked up on. I thought it was funny. I really like this one. I really like crude, gross, weird books, and then that juxtaposition of Christmas mixed in with it, I really liked. I can't give it a Christmas score because I read it last year, but I mean, it's about Santa and there are funny things in there related to Christmas. So maybe not as much as the others, maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 on the Christmas scale. Oh, and then the next one is Edward Lee's Here Comes Santa Claus. This is about Santa getting kidnapped and pulled into, let me actually read the synopsis on this one because it's been a while. It's about Santa. He flies off course. Basically he ends up, I can't remember if he's like sucked into hell or he goes to an alternate dimension. I can't remember exactly what happens, but basically he's faced with this evil Santa that abducts him and tries to take over. It's kind of like The Nightmare Before Christmas, but it is an extreme horror book. I can't remember how extreme it is. To be honest, off the top of my head, just know that going into it if you're gonna read it. But I had fun with this one. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. The one I read this year though is called Return of the Living Elves, and this one was hilarious. I was cracking up the whole time. It's about this guy who works at this Christmas emporium, and he's getting back all of the decorations for Christmas, and they have like a whole warehouse full of stuff. He hires this new kid, and this new kid actually unboxes these snow globes and drops one, and this evil elf who has been caught inside tries to take over the world. You have this like PTSD ridden, I don't even know what he is. He's not Santa, but oh, his name's like Matt Kringle. But he lives in like almost a different dimension or something. And he'll talk about his time in war, and he's like, you know, Operation Candy Cane really did a number on us. It's so funny. And so anyways, this elf tries to take over, and it's like a zombie elf. He bites people that turns them into zombie elves, and then he tries to make like a whole following of people so that he can take over the world. But there's one point in the story where he finds a mall Santa and climbs down his throat to be able to move his body. It's so funny. I thought that this was hilarious. I mean, Christmas, it's like, you can't get more Christmas than that. It is a 10 out of 10 in the Christmas department. It's crude, it's gross, it's hilarious. I loved this book. I thought it was so funny. Next is Agatha Christie's, I can't remember how to say this guy's name. Don't make me look it up. But, you know, her detective guy, his Christmas. I really like this one. This is just a perfect thriller, I think, for Christmas. It's about this family, and the patriarchy of the family dies, and all the family is staying there for the Christmas season. And so this detective comes and stays with them to try to solve the crime. So he's just kind of investigating and asking questions and figuring out who has a motive and what actually happened. I do think I figured out who the killer was beforehand in this one, but it was still fun. Christmas wise, it's very low. There's really not that much Christmas. I would say maybe like 4 out of 10 on the Christmas scale. There's a Christmas tree mentioned and stuff, but it doesn't really feel very Christmassy. But I guess it's about murder, so there you go. But I really like this one. I think that that's just a good run-of-the-mill thriller book to read. And my favorite one that I've read so far has been, surprisingly, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ally Carter. I loved this. I thought it was the perfect mixture of romance and thriller. Like I said, I don't mind romance in my books, but I need there to be something else. Throw in a few murders, shank someone, do something. And this one was just so fun. It's about this writer, and she has kind of a rivalry going on with another writer. He's kind of rude to her, and she feels like belittles her, and so she's always hated this guy. So she gets invited to a house for Christmas, and she thinks that it's a fan, and a bunch of stuff has happened to let her to the point where she accepts the offer. But when she ends up there, he's there too, and she's like, I have to spend Christmas with this douchebag. But it turns out that the head mystery writer in the world, like the Agatha Christie, it's for sure inspired by Agatha Christie because of what happens in the story. Basically, the modern day Agatha Christie is actually the one that has invited them to her house. So she is just floored. She's so excited. But the mystery writer goes missing in a locked room, in her locked office. So they start finding clues around the house. There's hidden passageways. It's such a fun, almost classic feeling thriller book. It feels like you're reading an Agatha Christie book, but there's that twist and that added romance in there of the two writers, which I loved. I thought it was fun. I thought it was sweet. I loved hearing the stories of each of the characters. I liked them. I thought it was fun. I don't think it was too over the top, because sometimes romances, well, there's sometimes, I guess, that I don't know, I roll my eyes a little bit at the gooey stuff. But other than that, I thought that this was so cute. I would read 10 of these if there were more of books like these for Christmas. So anyway, right now I'm reading Meddling Under the Mistletoe, and that one is just if it were a movie, it would be like a feel-good movie, and I'm enjoying it. I haven't finished yet, and it's cute. It's a romance story, but it's also about grieving and coming to terms with approaching the holidays, knowing that they're going to be different from how they were, and understanding and falling into the new norm of that, and still being able to appreciate the holidays and Christmas and family and your time together and being alive, even though you're still grieving and missing a big part. So it's been really cute. It's made me tear up a few times, and I've really enjoyed it, but I haven't finished that one. Otherwise, let me know what you guys are reading for Christmas or what you have read. Any sort of recommendations would be really nice, because there's still a little bit of time before Christmas. I might get another book or two in. So let me know, especially if it's like The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. If it's anything like that, please let me know, or DM me on Instagram or something. Let me know, because I want to read more books like that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you've been very good this year. And me and Creepy Santa will be seeing you around. Bye, guys!